Good afternoon, everyone. Today, Nikita and I are going to present on FBI most used biometric databases. Biometric databases are defined as databases which contain biometric characteristics, such as collections of samples, fingerprints, DNA, voice recognition, similarity scores, and all identification data, excluding the individual's name and demographics. The basic premise of biometric authentication is that every person's identity can be accurately defined by intrinsic physical and behavioral traits. One of the primary users of this type of database is the FBI, who has long fought to keep who is stored in its biometrics database a secret. Today, we will focus on two major databases used by the FBI, CODIS and AFIS. The Combined DNA Index System, CODIS, is the United States National DNA Database, as well as the software used to run this database. It consists of three levels of information. First, local DNA index system, where DNA profiles originate. Second, DNA index systems, which allows for laboratories within states to share information. And third, the National DNA Index System, which allows states to compare DNA information with one another. The CODIS software contains multiple different databases depending on the type of information being searched against. Examples include missing persons, convicted offenders, forensic samples collected from crime scenes. However, for privacy reasons, the CODIS database does not contain any personal identifying information, such as the name associated with the DNA profile. To clarify, the DNA only contains profiles, a specimen identifiers, the sponsoring laboratory's identifiers, the initials or name of personnel associated with the DNA analysis, and the actual DNA characteristics. CODIS uses two indexes, the Convicted Offender Index and the Forensic Evidence Index, to generate investigative leads. The Convicted Offender Index contains DNA profiles of individuals convicted of crimes ranging from misdemeanors to sexual assault and murder. The Forensic Index contains DNA profiles obtained from crime scene evidence, such as semen, saliva, or blood. CODIS uses its computer software to automatically search across these indexes for a potential match. For example, if the DNA profile from a crime scene matches a sample taken from another crime scene, the cases might be linked in what is called a forensic hit. If the crime scene sample matches a convicted offender or RC sample, the result is called an offender hit. Hits give officers information that help them focus their investigation. Now let's look at some data and at the answer of this question we just asked. As of February 2017, CODIS contained more than 12 million offender profiles, more than 2.5 million RST profiles, and more than 750,000 forensic profiles. Also, CODIS has aided in over 350,000 investigations and produced more than 365,000 hits. However, the system has some limitations. The biggest one is that a match in CODIS does not by itself prove that the profile committed a crime. Experts talk about probability in these cases. Also, not DNA profiles prior to CODIS establishment are contained in the forensic index, and this prevents the occurrence of matches. Now Nikita will talk about AFIS.
So AFIS is the Automated Fingerprint Identification System, which is a process of using a computer to match fingerprints against a database of known and unknown prints. It is fast as it shows fingerprint matches within minutes. AFIS maintains the largest biometric database in the world containing the fingerprint information and corresponding criminal history information for more than 55 million subjects in the criminal master file. AFIS is primarily used by law enforcement agencies like FBI for criminal identification purposes, the most important of which is the identification of a person suspected of committing a crime or linking a suspect to other unsolved crimes. When an individual is arrested and brought to custody, they are fingerprinted as part of the book-in process. There is no longer a need for messy inks. Their fingers and palms are rolled on a glass plate located on the live scan terminal, and a scanner located below the plate reads the information from prints. That information is electronically transmitted to the identification section, where an identification technician checks the prints for quality control. After checking the prints on the AFIS verification station, the technician transmits the information to the AFIS system, where the fingerprints are searched against a database of over 5 million fingerprint cards. Within minutes, the AFIS returns information on the 3 closest matches to the prints searched. The technician compares the known prints of the person arrested to the prints received from AFIS to determine if they have a previous arrest, an active warrant, or are providing false identifying information. So let's see how is the fingerprint stored in the AFIS system. In biometrics, a fingerprint template is the name used to describe a stored file in a fingerprint scanning system. When a fingerprint is entered into the system, only a template of the fingerprint is stored, not an image of the actual fingerprint. A fingerprint template is actually smaller than the actual fingerprint image, and using the template instead of an image makes for faster processing time. Raw fingerprint images should not be used for a number of drawbacks. First, a fingerprint image takes about 250 KB of space, whereas a template just takes about 500 bytes. Storing raw print information image is unsafe since it may lead to information leak once compromised. So let's take a look at the applications of AFIS. First, national ID. Over hundreds of countries require citizens to have national ID card containing biometric identity profile. Second, it could be used for voter registration, as it allows election agencies to maintain full control of the voting process by capturing millions of eligible voter biometric identities. Third, border control. It helps to stop criminals using fake identities to cross borders, and it also facilitates fast, safe, and smooth crossing for common travelers. E-passports increases convenience and border flow while maintaining security and privacy. Now, more than 75 countries are opting for e-passports. Healthcare and welfare. It closes any loopholes for healthcare ID or welfare fraud by providing a secure data network infrastructure. Thank you.